Hey, what's up everybody? How's it going? How's your day? Hopefully it's going well. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Brightburn. Obviously, you can tell, you read the title, you clicked on the video, you know how the interwebs work. And right off the top, I will tell you that I did not love the movie necessarily, but I did love what this movie had to show us. And what it showed us is that A, superhero movies can be made for dirt cheap if you really want to, because this movie was made for less than $10 million if I remember correctly. And B, that you can make a superhero movie a completely different genre and just have the superhero part about it be kind of in the backdrop. Because technically we haven't really done that before, because we've had superhero movies that have horror elements in it, mostly in movies like your Blades, your Hellboys, and partially the movie Chronicle. And hopefully this movie doesn't suffer from the stigma of it being considered maybe like a discount Superman movie, because in all actuality, that's kind of what it is. It is essentially about an indestructible child that gets sent to Earth, but this time his intentions are not as pure as that of, say, Clark Kent. But as I said before, I adamantly welcome this movie, mainly because Warner Brothers at the moment can't even scrounge together enough like hearts and minds to get a Man of Steel 2 put together. And even if they did do that, we wouldn't get a story like a Superman Red Son or like an Injustice Gods Among Us or just an evil Superman in general. Granted, we did get like 2 minutes of an evil Superman in Justice League, but to be honest, that movie was a piece of shit, and Brightburn is miles ahead of that. So having a discount Superman gives you an opportunity to tell stories you wouldn't normally get to tell. But the movie's not perfect. It did have some noticeable flaws. The first of which is the movie did try to be a horror movie and it didn't quite succeed at that most of the time. More often than not, I would say it's because that they went for the jump scare and it was sometimes a little over choreographed. And I also felt the guy that played the dad, he didn't do a bad job necessarily, but for some reason he just felt a little bit out of place. I feel like they could have done a little bit better job casting him. And also another thing they can't do in a Superman movie, they can't make it super gory and super violent, despite the fact that that's probably what happens to a lot of the people that Superman comes into contact with. And the day Warner Brothers has enough sack to make an R-rated Superman movie is the exact same day that I will have enough fuck you money to go out and buy that Tron cycle I've always wanted. Because this movie does not hold back on the gory shit that could potentially happen. And also, if I'm being totally honest, I could have used about another like 20 minutes to a half an hour of this movie. Because there are some character moments and like character motivations that honestly could have used a little more building up, or maybe even just a little more time to breathe in general. In other words, the pace just got a little bit too quick later on in the movie, but I guess that was part of the build up to the crescendo, but it just could have worked a little better. And besides that, this movie was serviceably a lot of fun. There was a couple moments that were not trying to be funny that came out funny, but other than that, like, I thought it was pretty good. Elizabeth Banks did a really good job just playing this ever-devoted mother. She was awesome. And the kid, he wasn't perfect, but he had some really good moments where he shined because his whole delivery was kind of just deadpan by design, but occasionally he has these really snarky answers to people's questions, and that deadpan design makes it funny and also scary and awkward at the same time. That's not the kind of funny, awkward delivery you normally hear in movies, and I feel like they nailed that. And all the action and destruction scenes were really good. Some of the special effects, they could have used a little more work, but again, the movie's low budget. I didn't expect a whole lot. Don't really remember a whole lot about the music, which is usually a good sign. It means it blended well. And I just love the way the movie ended. It couldn't have ended better, in my opinion. Despite the fact that the movie is overall kind of predictable, but this movie was exactly what the trailer sold me on. So props to the marketing department. But anyway, for a score, overall out of 10, I think I would give it like an 8.1. I enjoyed the concept of the movie more so than the actual, finished product that they gave me. But at the end of the day, I was thoroughly entertained by this movie, even if it was more so in concept rather than how it was executed. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this movie yet? Did you even hear about it? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe to all that other bullshit that makes the channel look good, and I will catch you guys next time.